Compression vocals too. So now that we've got the compression going on the choir, we're going to add some compression to the lead vocal. And what I've done is I've placed the start time of the mix where the lead vocal is singing. So here it goes. Okay, so we're going to give her a little bit more control there. So we're going to do the same thing. Go to our dynamics, compressor limiter dynamic 3, and we'll start compressing her. Okay, so now you can hear we got her tamed down a little bit, and so we can start adding up some of that makeup gain and bring her more to the forefront. So you'll notice that in the last video and this one with vocals, we usually put the attack and the release a little shorter. The release can really be dependent on what you're doing. It could be quick release or a longer release, but the attack usually is going to be a little quicker on vocals because there's no real big transient in vocals that needs to come through like there are on drums. And so usually a quicker attack is what you're going to want. It really depends though, because sometimes the slower attack can have a really good effect on it as well. In this circumstance, for all the vocals we've been doing so far, the quicker attack has really worked better. But listen again, as now we can really bring her to the forefront now that we've got her tamed a little bit on some of those louder parts. Let's listen to what's happening. Okay, see how that was all pretty balanced? Now listen when we bypass it. Okay, so now we turn it back on. So even when she gets softer at the end, it doesn't seem like she's as dynamic. She's more steady and even. Now, it's still really subtle, but it really is evening her out there and balancing out her vocal so that when she gets louder, it doesn't jump her off the map there and make us feel like we need to turn down the mix all of a sudden or turn down her track. The compressor is doing that for us. So we're letting the compressor work for us so we don't have to go in there and automate her fader there. So as you can see, now we listen to the whole thing and we've got all this great vocal compression happening, instrument compression, and the mix is really a lot more controlled. So let's listen real quick to some of the mix. Okay, now let's listen to some of that. I'm just going to bypass all of these compressors that we put in there real quick, and we'll listen without it. Okay, and here is all the compressors back in, but you notice that it's a lot more dynamic. Sometimes the guitar's popping out and sometimes you can barely hear it, and the choir gets louder and softer, and now it's all a lot more controlled with the compressors in there. So that's compression on the vocals and kind of finishing up compression on our mix in general for now, and we're going to go on to some other dynamics processors to help out our mix, controlling it dynamically in other ways other than compression.